Well, welcome at last to our first game of Aerodynamic Tetris. I've made a couple of additions off camera. I fixed the rotation with the eyepiece. I just had to start from scratch and make the rotation a lot simpler. You can see that my blocks are accelerating on their way down. I've also got a graph of each piece's speed versus time. So it starts out at 0 and then it speeds up a little bit. I've also got a display for my points and all of my physical properties here. And so you can see that when my piece is flat like this, it reaches a terminal speed pretty quickly, just before reaching the bottom there. But then when I make it narrow, it starts to speed up a lot faster. So you see this block is getting a much faster terminal speed than the last one, whereas if I have it flat like this, it starts to taper off a little bit earlier. I think I've got the mass a little bit too high because these guys really aren't reaching terminal speed just yet. So we're going to come over here and adjust the mass. It was at 1, then I changed it to 4. Let's split the difference and make it 2. And the reason that's important to me is because that's going to impact the gamification. So the way it currently works is I've got a point counter up here. I guess I should show you that the point counter actually works before I get into changing the points. But what I'd like to do is set this up so that every time you get, say, 10 points, so you clear 10 lines, this system gets more difficult. So the block gets more massive, the gravity gets stronger, the drag coefficient gets less. But what you can see is that depending on the width of the shape, 3 or 2, I've got a different terminal velocity that I'm approaching. So like right now, I'm going to get a terminal speed of just above 8, but when I flip it like this, boom, the terminal speed increases. So you see I originally start to taper off here, and then it starts to increase here. So you've got a little graph you can watch of the speed. I still think I might like, I don't know, maybe what I need to do is increase the gravitational field so that it'll speed up sooner, but then increase the drag coefficient so it's got a little bit lower terminal speed. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Let's up the gravity just a little bit. Maybe go up to 15, but then also increase the drag coefficient, and that'll get them up to terminal speed sooner. I don't know. I need to fine tune that. But what I want to do in this video is, oh, and I didn't show you clearing a line. Goodness. Okay, so I'm not moving away again until I get a point. But what I want to do in this video is start playing around with the gamification where this stuff starts to change depending on how many points you have. So now I feel like it's reaching terminal speed a little too soon. So maybe I need the drag coefficient of 0.2. There we go. I didn't manage to sneak that in there. So I'm going to play around here. I might put this next part into fast motion just to show you that, yes, this point counter does work. All right, perfect. That is exactly the piece I need. So you see, I've basically got 3 terminal speeds. I've got one for 4 wide, one for 3 wide, and one for 2 wide. And that doesn't go up linearly with the width there. So you see, I got a point there when I cleared that line. So what I want to do now with you is make adjustments to these things. So let's see. So the way I've got the pieces counting, or the points counting, excuse me, is down here where we clear a row. Whenever we clear a row, we increase the points by 1. I'll make a note there, increase points by 1. And then here we update the points display, which is actually being showed outside of the canvas. That just seemed to be the easiest way to do that. So it's at this point that I need to check for whether I have exceeded another 10 points. So let's see, how do I want to do that? I suppose what I need to do is make another counter. Let's call it, so we're going to call that points remainder. So we're going to come down here. So when I increase the points by 1, I'm also going to increase points underscore remainder by 1. And so every 10 points, I want that to do something. So here we're going to say, if points remainder equals 10, then we need to do a couple things. First, we need to reset it back down to 0. Very good. And then we need to change, I think we'll make it random which one changes. So I need to change either the mass, gravity, or the drag coefficient. So I think we're going to make that random. So we're going to pick, let's call it selection equals random. So that's going to pick a random number between 0 and 1. So if selection is less than 1/3, kind of like what we did before when we were picking pieces, then I want you to increase the mass. Now, how should the mass increase? Should it increase linearly? I kind of feel like I want to play around with these increasing linearly versus getting multiplied by something. I think what we'll do is we'll have the mass and the gravitational field change linearly, but the drag coefficient we will multiply. No, excuse me. I guess I want the drag coefficient to decrease, maybe? Or maybe I'll change several. Maybe I'll change the drag coefficient with each of these. I don't know. So anyway, we'll have a mass plus equal to 1. That's fine. Else, if selection less than 2/3, we'll increase the grav by 1. Else, then we'll take the drag coefficient and multiply it by, let's say, a half. Let's say we decrease it by half each time. Okay, and then I need to update the display for that. So I need to go back up to where I have the phys text. All right, just remind myself what I've called this thing. I'm just going to copy this whole thing and put that down here. Paste. Phys text equals, I don't need that. I just need to update its text value. So we'll just do that. And I don't need to update its position. Okay, let's see. That shouldn't change anything as it stands. It shouldn't change any of the performance of the code, I don't think. Okay. Cool. So, okay, yeah, I like this. I like this play a little bit better. Okay, I think I like these starting values. So what I'm going to do, oops, I need to fix that. That was a problem. So I'm going to fix that issue that's obviously going on there. But I'm going to play around here and see how much more difficult this gets. So I'll probably put this part in fast motion. You are also, of course, welcome at this point to try out the game in the link in the description below, and we'll see how we do. You know what I need? I need that next window over here. Oh crap, I did not want this block. Oh, finally. Salvation arrives. What? How did that not? Oh, I didn't actually have a line clear over there. Oh, I suck at this game. All right, I need a J block. I need a J block now. Help me, J block. Oh shoot, that's the block I need. Oh, I stink at this game. Oh man. All right, fine. We'll just clear this part out here. Consolation prize. Boop, boop. All right, I got my first 2 points. All right, let's see what happens when I get this 10th point here. Mass 2, gravitation 15. Ooh, my mass increased. Okay, so we should see an increase in the terminal speed. And sure enough, we do. This thing's terminal speed is higher than stuff was before. Cool. Okay. I think I like this. I think I like this. I'm going to make a couple changes. First thing I'm going to do is change the animation rate. So let's bump that up to 5. I think that'll be fine. That'll keep all the physics relatively the same. And then I want this points remaining. Let's change that from every 10 points to every 5 points. Let's see. Points remainder. Points remainder equals. Let's do level change. Let's call it level change. Copy, and we'll put that somewhere up here. Level change. Change physical properties. Every level change points. And let's make that. You know what? Let's make that equal to 4. I'm feeling ambitious here. Okay, I'm gonna give this another try. And anyway, I hope this is enjoyable to you. I hope this is a fun game. If you're a physics educator, this is probably a good thing to use in your class. I will try it out in my class as well. And just, you know, this might be a good way to help students learn a little bit about aerodynamic forces, about terminal speed, about how the surface area, changes the terminal speed drastically. And yeah, I mean, you could add other forces too. You could add, you could make it a 1 over r squared gravitational attraction. You could make it, you could make them charges. Maybe they attract and repel each other or something. I don't know. There's probably a lot you can do with this. I do hope you'll try it out in the link in the description below. Let me know what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.